Well, hello everyone. I'm David, and this is Flying Low. Thought I'd need to give you an update about what's going on. It's been about 3 weeks since I last posted, which is longer than I intend. I intend to post at least once a week, and once we get our project started, it'll be more frequently than that. In keeping track of what we're doing in our project, how to do it, and so on. The project, of course, being the Archon AF2 Duo, which is the home-built aircraft that is being a fast start kit, which is being produced and marketed by Sport Air USA out of North Little Rock, Arkansas, which is not far from where I live, which is fortunate for me. But I have put a call in to Bill Canino and talked to him about where the project stands at this time. Of course, they have a prototype aircraft. I'm told that the two-seat prototype aircraft is being refitted with a different engine and flown with different engines so that they can develop a short list of engines that are approved to go into the kit. Once that is completed, then the prototype will be delivered to the company that will build the kits, and they do anticipate having kits coming out or ready to be delivered this fall. So it's still in the works. The kits haven't been produced yet, or not available, so we're waiting for that. And in the meantime, as I've been waiting, I've made it my goal to try to accomplish something towards our overall goal of furthering education on aircraft maintenance and becoming an aircraft maintenance technician. I have gone to Pulaski Technical College in North Little Rock, talked with them about their program and how maybe I could attend classes there. At this time, it doesn't look like that's going to be feasible for me because of the time constraint, in that I have other obligations, responsibilities, and I can't take off 4 days a week to go to class, which is what's required of their program. So I'm going to have to find another method of achieving my goal, which is to get my airframe and power plant license and become a certified aviation maintenance technician in this process of building the aircraft and furthering my education as a whole in aviation and aircraft in general. So that is the goal, and so now we're starting to work toward that each and every day. And in thinking about this and working on this, I thought, well, what's the best way to attack this? Well, one thing that I did know is I know my learning style and how I learn best, which is generally by hearing something, such as an instructor, which is why I went to Pulaski Tech to talk to them, because that's the way I learn best, is by watching and listening and then applying that and working on it myself. And so that is the best way for me to learn. But since that's not going to work for my particular situation, I'm going to have to discover another method. So what I've started doing is utilizing what I already have. And what I already have is YouTube. In fact, I call it YouTube University. There's so much you can learn on YouTube. So I've started watching YouTube videos. I've found a couple of channels that have been very informative, very instructional. So one of those is a channel called Kit Planes magazine, and they have several different series that you can go watch. And one I found most interesting so far has been a series with Paul Dye, and he did a series of basic metalworking skills, more particularly in riveting and how to install rivets and take rivets out, good techniques of all kinds of things having to do with metal work, and particularly riveting, drilling holes and cleaning those holes up and how they need to look, how the joint needs to look when you get finished, and so on. So I found that series to be really informative. Went through that entire series. The other thing I've found is another channel called Experimental Aircraft Channel. And this individual goes around and looks at different types of aircraft, talks to the people who've manufactured some or gone to the manufacturer and different aircraft and seen how they're put together with the finished product, and talk to the individuals about what it took them to complete their project, which is going to help give me a better and more realistic idea of how much time and energy it's going to take for me to complete my project. So that's what I've been doing so far, which is just trying to give myself realistic expectations, goals, coming up with a plan on how to best achieve my goal, and then putting that to work. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I need to go talk to the Flight Standards District Office, which is the FAA's office in Little Rock, and work with them to say, this is what I want to do. What's the best way that I can do that with the constraints I have, which is a time constraint and not being able to attend a class. So I believe that's going to entail me working at least part-time in a shop, aircraft maintenance shop, and being under the direct supervision of an aviation maintenance technician, and working on jobs and logging that time and making sure the skills that are needed to learn are being done and learned in that process. So, but that's going to be with the approval of the Flight Standards District Office here in Little Rock and logging of that time. So that's the next thing I need to do, is get that going. So utilizing my time as best I can, I'm going to continue to start my studying for the three different tests, which are the airplane general, airplane power plant, and the aircraft airplane structural test that I'll have to take. So again, I've started also studying for those, but I'm going to get the materials, the books, to read through it. The first thing I've done is gone through and listened to the oral study guide on the YouTube channel, that they were reading the oral study guide questions, and I'd pause it and I'd think, do I know the answer to that question or not? And if I knew the answer to that question, or I thought I did, I would think of that and then listen to the answer that they had and see if I was right or wrong. And so as going through those three study guides, I've done all three of them now, in fact, a couple of times. What I wanted to find out was, where do I need to apply myself for the areas that I was weakest in? So I, of course, have done nothing at all in the area of electrical work on an aircraft. So I learned a lot about electricity, and I know that I need to study or apply myself more to learning the electrical systems and how they work, and how to figure impedance and power, and how the electrical system is put together. So, just for example, this is among many other things, but now I know where to concentrate or spend a little more time in those areas. So, but also felt pretty good about what I already knew, just based on the amount of past history I have in aviation. So I make it my goal each and every day to learn something new and put that together and keep building on it. So that's where we stand right now. I have, if you might notice, a little bit of at least color on the walls behind me. I've put a few charts up. I'm starting to work on my space here, the office area, to make it more what I want it to be when I come in, so that I can be comfortable where I am and have an environment around me that is itself motivating. So anyway, making some progress, a little bit at a time. We'll catch you next time here on Flying Low.